I typed in, hold on, I'll repost it. So I typed in a quote and I typed in the question, what does this quote mean? Take another minute to answer this question, and then we need to move on because I want to make sure that we have an opportunity to look over the short response from Friday.
Hey, yeah, I had a question about one of the first questions.
All right, so I'm going to pause there. Many of you got the right answer. So that quote is really saying the way that this lady talks is going to stop her from being successful. Or so this guy says, right? And so he studies the way that people talk. And so maybe we agree with him, maybe we don't. As Celeste says, he thinks it's because she sounds less intelligent. And as we know, in the world even today, people are judged for the way they talk. Mr. McCabe has said this many times, right? We don't always have to talk the way that other people say we need to, but we need to learn the language in order to be able to be successful in the workforce, in the real world, be able to be taken seriously. I don't know, okay, I've heard him say that 5 or 6 times. Exactly, Ms. Monegro, thank you. It's called code switching. So what this text is going to be about is about her language, as we're going to see moving forward. So I want to touch base really quickly on the rest of these questions. So the language differences, which is what people were confused about, is showing class difference. So it's showing who is poor, who is rich, who is from different regions of England and of London. So what we're going to notice is that this idea of language is going to come up time and time again. The money they used, don't get too caught up in this. They just have their own money system because they don't use the US dollar. They use coins that have different values. That's all that you really need to worry about. The word gumption, if you got confused with gumption, just like you would on a state test or on an assignment, use your context clues and don't let it stop you from understanding the rest of the text. Carter, look it up on the internet. It's not that big of a deal for the text, but if you're really curious, you can totally Google what is a sixpence. And you can learn all about it. So why did Doolittle give so much money for the flowers? There is a quote in Act 1 that talks about the fact that he doesn't have any smaller coins. In the same way hold on, Jaylene. In the same way that if we don't have more than a smaller bill than like a $10 bill, and someone asks for $2, I can be like, I'm sorry, I only have a 10. I don't have change. Right? The same thing is happening with the gentleman, or with Doolittle, and with the flower girl. All right, I want to quickly share my screen and go over the short response. Jaylene, if you need help with the theme statement, can you stay back just a minute and we'll go over it? All right, so what we're gonna do is I wanna go through the short response. So this is the short response that was on Friday's quiz. It says, in Act 1, most of the characters are referred to generally instead of by name. They use things like the flower girl, the bystander, the gentleman. Why does the playwright choose to do this? So many people attempted to answer this question without understanding that this is an author's purpose question. So another way to phrase this question is, what is the author trying to communicate by making the decision to write these names instead of character names? So I want to show two good examples. I want to make these as big as possible. Okay. So a good response has the claim, the author does this because he wants the characters to be more noticed than others, right? So this response is thinking critically about, okay, some characters got names, some didn't. So the ones that got names are important and the ones that didn't aren't as important. This claim is strong. The better response, so if I keep going, one piece of evidence is, but comes into collision with the flower girl who is hurrying in for shelter. This piece of evidence does not support the claim, which is why it's a good response, but not the better response. The better response writes, the playwright did that because they wanted the audience to know the character's role and what purpose they have in the play, right? So if you notice, the claim for the good response and the claim for the better response are different. There are lots of interpretations for why an author might have chosen to do this. However, the reason why the better response is better is because a detail from the text is a bystander on the lady's right. He won't get no cab, not until 11:30 misses, when they come back after dropping their theater fares. This shows that they name the character bystander because he or she impacts what happens in the story, right? He's just a bystander. He just pops in to say something and that's it, right? The flower girl is used, and then they say this shows that the playwright wanted her identity to be a secret because she's unknown to the main characters, right? So instead of referring to her by her name, which is giving away information that maybe a stranger wouldn't know, they just refer to her as a flower girl. This analysis and evidence is better aligned with the claim, which is why it is a better response than the good response. I'm going to pause there. It is 9:26. If that explanation of the short response was helpful, you don't need to stay in here anymore. Please make sure you get to social studies on time. I'm going to help Jaylene with the theme statement. If you need help with theme, we'll talk about it tomorrow morning, but I can also touch base with you right now. Okay. Jaylene, can you unmute? What is your question?
I'm just having trouble like figuring out the theme because like I need to figure out the theme in order to figure out the theme statement. I need like a theme so I can expand on the idea. So I don't know how I'm gonna do that.
So what are some example of theme words or thematic topics?
Like friends, friendship, trust, courage, survival, and identity.
Definitely. So those are a bunch of different ones. What are some thematic topics that show up already in this text?
I have no idea.
Okay, so even thinking about, we were talking about the difference in language. We were talking about the different interactions people had with each other, right? The way that Freddie was treated by his mom and his sister, the way that the flower girl was treated by Freddie, the way that the flower girl was treated by the gentleman. How might those things play into the thematic topic?
Oh, I get it now. Okay.
Helpful? Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
No problem. All right. There are still 10 students in this chat.
Okay.
Bye, Denise.
Hi, Tosemase, bye.
Wait, Jalen, don't leave yet.
Okay.
Salyu, do you need me?
So basically, we're going to know which ones can follow as an addition.
Yes. Well, it can be a thematic topic.
So for the assignment that you posted today, that could be one of them, and then I could just expand on the idea.
That is a thematic topic. In order for it to be a theme, it needs to be a full
No,
sentence.
that's fine.
But yes.
Okay.
All right, Jalen, what's up, my dude? I haven't heard from you in forever.
That's because I haven't been attending the meets.
Or doing any of the homework.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's going on?
Cause what's it called? I've been focused on mostly because lately math hasn't been showing up, so I've mostly been like contacting Mr. Hernandez and trying to get the math done, and I completely forgot about ELA. I'm sorry. I said I forgot about ELA, not you.
Sure. Okay, so what do you need in order for me to help you get caught up?
To be honest, just I don't even know, to be honest.
Okay, so if you go into the Google Classroom, what you should do is you should do the assignment for 417 and then do the assignment for today. Because if you don't read or watch Act 1, you're going to be so confused.
Okay.
So start there and then do today's, and then you should be okay.
Okay, I'm gonna tell Siri to remind me to do that.
Okay. Do you want me to call you later
Yeah.
or email you or something? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sound good.
Okay.
Get to social studies. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, I have one that says, of the following, which alkyl bromide should react most slowly by a two reaction with a strong base? And I guess the two trick answers are the two cis-1 bromo 4 tert butyl cyclohexene and trans